Working on my 2007 PT Cruiser. I purchased this car just a couple months ago and have been having some overheating issues at idle, stoplights, slow driving. Also noticed that my air conditioner is not coming on. A lot of times those are controlled through the relays for the fan, so that if the fans don't come on, the AC won't come on either. Check the relays. I pulled these down from up above. They're up above the shroud. You got to take them, unscrew them from the top, and then drop the loom down to the bottom so that I can measure. I am getting my 12.7 volts to the wires that I should be, and then these relays are supposed to switch from the yellow over to the green or white to supply power to the fans. It seemed like everything was fine as far as the power. I haven't tested the relays yet to see if they activate, but I followed the wire loom around and was checking connections, trying to find a ground source because I hadn't found a ground source yet. And as I was checking my wires and the plugs, I pulled apart this harness, and you can see the corrosion inside there. It's pretty bad. I'm betting that I'm not getting ground feed all the way through like it's supposed to supply. You can see on this plug up here, there's the green and the white from the relays, and then a black wire, which should be the ground source, coming through somewhere in this loom, feeding back over to this plug. And I think I'm not getting ground, so I'm probably getting my relay activation but no ground. So I'm going to clean that and see if I can get these things to work. Another section of the video here in a minute. I sprayed on the connectors some battery cleaner and corrosion eliminator onto these plugs. I'm going to let them set for a few minutes. It's supposed to neutralize any acid and corrosion. You flush it with water after you give it a few minutes to do so. Hopefully that's going to clean those contacts. It's hard to get up in there with anything. I don't have a small metal brush or tube cleaner to use, so this is a good opportunity, a pretty good product to use anyways, to clean them out real well. So see how it goes. After cleaning those contacts, checking the relays for proper activation, manually triggering them, I went ahead and started the vehicle up. As soon as I turned it to defrost, the AC automatically came on and the fans turned on. So success there. What I did next was turn off the heat and air, let the engine run. I've got my meter, or my computer here, connected to the car's OBD2. Let it run until it got to about 204 degrees, which you saw at the beginning of this section. The fans turned on at 204. It has gone back up to 206, but the fans are running. So my biggest problem before was not just not having AC, which it is turning on and off when I turn off the AC, but for the biggest thing was overheating. And like I said, I couldn't drive in town for very far, stop and go, before it would start to get up in temps and start even sometimes bubbling. You can hear it boiling in this coolant. I mean, I'm running a lot of water right now, so that's my fault. I need to change it out now that I've got this fixed for some premix, or some I've already mixed some with deionized water. Boy, it sure doesn't seem to be cooling down enough though. Temperature's gone up to 210. Keep monitoring this to see if the fans are going to cool this down enough. I might have to stop this test before it gets too warm and switch this out for some coolant, because we're at almost boiling temp now. So if it gets any higher, it doesn't cool down with the mostly water in there, I'll drain the system and put some 50-50 mix. There's 212. I'll keep monitoring it. I'll let you know here in a minute. Shucks, didn't catch it quick enough. You can see the coolant temp dropping quite a bit fast now. It hit 217, and when it hit 217, the secondary relay kicked on, which kicked the fan into high speed. So that's what the two relays are for. I was thinking that one might have been for AC activation, and then the other one for overheat. but when I was checking the relays, it didn't look like that was the case. Second one is to activate more voltage onto the motor on a secondary winding, it looks like, to kick it into high speed. Once that happened, it cooled down pretty quick. I mean, the fan, you could hear the difference, substantial difference. And now both fans are off because it kicked it down so low that we're not even close to activating the first stage of the cooling fan. So success on fixing the relays. No more overheating. I'm going to go ahead and swap out the water now for 50-50 mix coolant with deionized water. You can also use softened water from your house if you have a water softener. You should not use distilled water like a lot of people think. Distilled water is kind of basically evaporated water recaptured, takes out all the minerals, kind of in a stripping process. If you got a lot of metal items in your cooling system, it could actually start to try to stabilize itself and take metal particles away from your cooling system. There we go, it kicked on at 204 like it did last time on the first stage. So I'm pretty happy with this. Problem fixed. Common problem with the PT Cruisers. I've seen a lot of videos saying underneath the fuse panel, behind the back, you know, it's back by the firewall, bad corrosion connections. I checked all that before about a week ago. Everything looked good. That's why I decided to start checking the relays. And after pulling the relays down underneath the car, found these plugs. So hopefully this helps you. I don't know why they don't use more of a wider tight fitting or some some type of electrical contact grease to help protect it, because it is in a vulnerable area right at the bottom of the radiator, front of the car, where a lot of moisture gets to while you drive. Well, there it is. It's cooling really good now. First stage kicked on at 204 and we're back down to 190. Hopefully this helps you. Thanks. Bye.